Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're into the ESL Pro League. It's day 5 or day 2 of week 2. Either way, whatever you want to call it, we're jumping back in with some more Counter-Strike. A lot of the big teams are taking a little bit of a break after what has been back-to-back best of threes, big events across the world. But here we stand ready to see how some of the teams that are in the middle of the pack are going to be duking it out today, and that is all coming up on today's show. We're live from the Intel Esports Arena here at the Xfinity Analyst Desk, and I'm joined by a ragtag squad of Counter-Strike experts and casters. We do have Henry G and Sadikis, your resident commentators. They're going to be guiding you through all of the games tonight. And on the other side of things, we have Janko Paunovic and Chaddy B, Chad Birchill Sponge. How's it going there?
I'm getting lots of names now, aren't I?
Honestly, at this point, we've done so many desks, I don't know what I want to call you. I'm lost.
The Beaver, Chaddy B, Chad.
The Beaver.
Sponge, Sponge A.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what, before we start talking a little bit about what is going to be coming up on tonight's show, a couple of just general Counter-Strike discussion topics, one of which is, of course, big events are on the horizon. A little bit of a time, though, like a 6-week gap. I know, Chad, you've been tweeting about it, saying there is going to be some time for them to do their homework coming into DreamHack Masters.
Got some traction on that one, didn't I? Front page of Reddit, you love to see it.
Man.
But look, that event's going to be a banger, going to be in the Intel Grand Slam as well. I think, you know, with the 6-week lead-in, all these teams and their excuses should be no longer existent at that point, right? There's going to be, I was looking at Marseille, I want to go early. This place looks like a place I actually want to spend time on a bit of a holiday. Don't worry about the Counter-Strike.
Absolutely. And Matt, if I actually start reading out the teams to you as well, like if you look at FaZe, Cloud9, SK, Mouse, Astralis, G2, all invited already. I'm glad G2 are going to be there, but I mean, who do you reckon is going to be taking those next couple of invites?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't even know at this point in time. There's so much instability within the scene. I mean, you expect teams like Na'Vi, but they're not doing that well in Pro League. They've had a final. Obviously, Fnatic as of late would be super solid, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic, I guess, is a shoe, and I don't know how many spots are actually at Masters.
16.
16?
12
there's 8 invites usually.
12.
12 invites. So there's lots
Because
to be
there's
handed
not
out.
enough time. I mean,
To
because
play
of the
those.
schedule, there's not as much room for qualifiers, so less spots through the qualifying process this time around.
So I guess Fnatic, Liquid are probably up there as a shoe-in as well. I'm trying to think of other teams that have caught our eye. I mean, some of the teams from the Pro League, I guess, do you have a conversation about the likes of, you know, Space Soldiers, Na'Vi, we saw them play yesterday? I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of potential invites for sure.
Absolutely, there is. Either way, we do have, of course, IEM Sydney, another announcement we're going to be talking a little bit about. Your mates from Down Under are doing another event, and I didn't get to see it, but apparently it was wild.
You can come this time.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
He's on the project.
He's on the project. He's definitely going to be on the project. But that's an exciting one. The crowd there was absolutely insane. Shuey's through the roof, doing the beer snake and all that kind of fun stuff. And there was good Counter-Strike. So I'm looking forward to this one again. I know it's going to turn out in droves. People always love going down to Sydney. Olympic Park's a beautiful place. And we went down to Bondi last time. Maybe we can go there again.
I've heard good things. I really have. I know, Janko, you had a blast of a time, and now it's even going to be more teams there.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved Sydney. I think it's an awesome city, an awesome place. The crowd was great, and you know, it was a smaller scale event at the end. It was only 8 teams, so to speak, 2 arena days. Now we're going bigger, 3 arena days, 16 teams. See a lot of spots for, you know, Australia, New Zealand, China, Southeast Asia, which is going to be great to see some of those teams, you know, not having to fly halfway across the world and still being able to compete against some of the world's best. Last time we had Chiefs knock out North out of playoff contention, so that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was wild. Chad's face says it all.
It was a recurring thing for North last year.
Oh, God.
Getting
yeah,
knocked out by everyone. It's cool. They're going to Copenhagen Games. Maybe they can win that.
Hey, good point.
Fingers crossed.
But Heroic is going as well, so maybe not.
It's a gamble at this point. SK and FaZe have already been invited to Sydney as well. And they've also announced Asia and Oceanic qualifiers, so we get to see more from those teams. I still haven't seen, like, I thought Tyloo, Henry, was going to be the team. I thought they were going to be the ones that we'd see at more events.
They had one good event, didn't they?
Yeah.
Malmo, or 2016, I think it
16,
was.
yeah.
They turned some heads in, but they haven't done anything since. So still a lot to do. They get invited to all the events now. I don't think we can use the excuse they don't get to practice. Yeah. They've had boot camps in America. They've been to majors. Still nothing, really. So not that excited about the prospect.
Maybe we'll get a new name coming out of these qualifiers.
Possibly.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, once again, let's jump into the Pro League. We have got Counter-Strike for you today as well. One of our sponsors here, GameFlip, are proudly sponsoring the ESL Pro League, and they're offering $10,000 in prizes from hardware to in-game items and even some game time cards as well. So a big thank you to GameFlip for making this all possible. And you can head over to gameflip.com/ESL. You can see all of the offers going on in conjunction with the Pro League. That's all happening on today's show, and this is your schedule. You get to see the games that are coming up on tonight's show. We get to see more from the Polish powerhouse AGO. They qualified from the MDL. Talking about Mountain Dew League, if you are interested, you can find all the details on ESEA's website. That's esea.net/MDL.
I'm really excited to see LDLC play again and just have the CZs every round of the game.
God, you really did get triggered by that. That's coming up at 9:40 thereabouts. They'll be playing North. And we actually saw North play yesterday as well, Yenko. It was a bit of a messy start up to the Counter-Strike.
Yeah, split series versus Mouse Sports, and Mouse Sports is looking pretty hot at the moment. So for North, with the recent roster changes, right, you want to give them a little bit of time. I think every game is great in a sense. You can get a look at least at how they're playing. We saw them in Katowice, and there was some good elements there in terms of team play and so forth, but couldn't even make the playoffs. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see moving forward, not necessarily result-wise, but gameplay-wise, how this new North is shaping up to be.
Before we start digging into the games, I just want one final question to you guys before you go ahead and prepare yourselves for the cast. Is which series jumps off the page to you? You've got, Na'Vi, AGO, I'm not sure. Hellraiser's Heroic, perhaps, or do you want to see more from LDLC? I know that was an absolute mess yesterday. Henry, you were really upset by what you saw.
I don't think there was any good Counter-Strike really played there yesterday, but it was quite exciting. I think CZ does add an element of excitement there.
I think in 3 and a bit years, 3 and a month years of casting at a high level, that game yesterday might be one of the top 5 worst I've ever seen.
That's a huge statement.
So bad.
We've casting some bad CS in the
I
start,
know,
the dark ages.
There's also the level of expectation when you're in the Pro League. That was, whew, it was rough. I think the Hellraiser series today, I think that could be a brawl between those two teams. They both have something to prove, sort of in the mid sections of the league, which just means you're kind of on the bubble, and I think that you kind of have to make every game count. So I think those two teams will be grinding really hard.
Yeah, Na'Vi and AGO as well maybe could be quite exciting.
Yeah, we'll see what Na'Vi do as well. We still haven't really got to see much more from them after their performance in Kia. We did watch them yesterday. You get to see some of the replays actually from their game versus Space Soldiers, and it was just a split series. The first map, however, we thought Inferno was Na'Vi's playground, and we didn't get what we expected from them. Once again, this volatility. I need to find a better word. Have we found a better word for what Counter-Strike is right now other than chaotic and volatile?
No, those ones are good.
No, not a single one that's broadcast ready. But I think the problem with Na'Vi is you can see right in some of these online games, you wonder, that's the problem. You would really want to be a part of the team and go through a full day of practice and a full day of official games while on TeamSpeak and see what the atmosphere is like, because it's very difficult to pinpoint. At times, when it's an important game on LAN, they look great, the calls are great, you can see some actual nice tactics, and then sometimes in some of these online games, it looks abysmal as a team that's, every man for himself, not really a clear plan as a team, what they want to do. So there can be a multitude of factors that come into that, team chemistry, is everyone working as hard, is everyone listening to the calls and so forth, but it would be nice to see Na'Vi more consistent in whatever it is, consistently good or consistently bad, because this is just, all over the place.
Yeah, we still haven't quite found the answer. Now, AGO. We're going into this first match. We do have AGO versus Na'Vi. We'll talk to you guys in a bit. We'll let you guys go get yourself a bottle of water, stay hydrated, and all of that good stuff. But talking to our analysts then, AGO are taking on Na'Vi. Now, we did just see them, I don't know how to frame it, but the Polish Masters in the Katowice stage. It was an intriguing affair, Chad. I mean, we didn't grand final. Did you see the result?
We were prepping some fun content actually backstage, weren't we? But look, that game, getting to play in Poland against the Polish team in front of the crowd in the Spodek, that's something that these guys obviously want to kind of replicate and have happening on the regular basis. Now, we have mentioned Furlan and Groovy in this team, or Grubby, however you want to pronounce it. They have played on major stages before. They've been involved in majors back in 2015 under, I think it was E-Battle and Vexed with the two teams. So these guys, as a squad, they're a young, hungry team. You compare that to the likes of Na'Vi, who are still getting invited to a lot of these top-tier events. This is everything for AGO going into this matchup, and this is where you see these upsets come in.
I think we're going to have a couple of comparisons like that throughout the Pro League, right? You have to remember AGO won Mountain Dew League over the likes of Space Soldiers, Na'Vi, Godsend, right, who were also fighting through relegation. So that was a feat for them. They were just at a tournament in Minsk, albeit tier 2, 3 or 3, but they also strolled almost through that one, had some convincing wins. And, looking at how poorly VP has been playing for a very long time now, the best team in Poland is also up for grabs. Two tournaments in a row, yes, a new player for VP, but completely disappointing. Nothing was going on there. So it's going to be interesting to see moving forward the likes of AGO. That they're going to put 110% into this league, right? Because this is where they can not only result-wise, but also practice-wise, get consistent official games against the best teams in the world. And that really allows you to get some, extra data about where your weaknesses lie, and then put focus on it to improve even more.
I think the Polish topic is quite an interesting one, right? Because in the sense of AGO, Kingwin, and VP, now everyone just says by the name that VP is the team to look at. They've lost Taz, like Yanko mentioned. Mihu came in, haven't seen anything too fantastic. Now there's the rumor of Taz potentially going to Kingwin.
I know, this is interesting to me.
But from the sense of that position of Taz being the spiritual leader, that's what he's going to bring, right? And he'll probably be able to take more roles where he could be not a star player, but an impact player. Him and his attitude in a new team may be something really positive for the Polish scene, right? Obviously, it was a bit overbearing when he was in the squad with Snacks and all those kind of guys, and you can tell maybe some of the things that he said didn't go down too well. But in a new squad where he's dealing with fresh faces who have looked up to him for the entirety of their careers and the entirety of the time they've been playing Counter-Strike, maybe that could be what this lower tier or the next tier of Polish CS needs.
Yeah, Taz may not be as dominant of a player as he was, 5 years ago, but he's still a champion. He has the mentality of a champion. He knows what it takes to become one, right? And that's something that these younger guys necessarily who might have the skill but don't know how to nurture it, right? How to take it to the next level. It might be a good mix. And talking about VP, it was a given, right, that they would be the best team in Poland and everything, and they would just, through sheer individual skill, bet some of these other teams. But, you look at them over the course of the last year and a half or so, and they have dropped off individually so much, while everyone else, there's new young players coming in. Are they really good enough, compared to everyone else, to really consider them a team that needs to be invited to events and all of that? Sure, if you're going to invite them because they have a huge fan base that's going to get disappointed again, be my guest. But, you look at their results, there are definitely other teams that are more deserving of an invite nowadays. And if VP is truly a great team, then they have to go and prove it.
I mean, this has been a conversation for some time. I remember it wasn't that long ago where we had the conversation of it's always going to be a battle to be second best in Poland, right? That was always the lay of the land. We would sit here and we would say, sure, there's a very clear ceiling to being the best team in your region just because Virtus Pro are as dominant as they were, and the chances of them making a roster change after however long they've been together was so unlikely. Now, with the removal of Taz, I think that's going to really throw quite a lot of discussion surrounding, it's going to loosen things up in the Polish scene.
Sure, and I think, AGO being in the Pro League, some of these guys are going to get to show week in, week out, going up against teams like Na'Vi, if they have the skill to be picked up in the new potential shuffle that happens. I would say if VP doesn't really change anything and they keep getting these poor results over the next 3 to 6 months, they're going to have to make more roster changes, and they're going to have to be bigger than just one player. It's going to have to potentially be an entire shuffle, and some of these AGO guys might end up in that mix.
There is one final question though, guys, and it is kind of the Counter-Strike triangle, which I know we hate to talk about, but when you look at the results that AGO are posting in comparison to that of Na'Vi, even in the most recent results, they've lost to teams like Red Reserve, Windingo, teams that are in like tier 3, tier 4. Yeah. They've conceded losses there, and then you look at Na'Vi's, not only are they losing some silly games, but there's a best of 3 win versus FaZe there as well. Yeah,
the second place at Star Series and so on, but Na'Vi also failed to qualify for Katowice, right? So it's a bit of both. It's a different environment when you become a team that gets invited to a lot of tournaments compared to a team that has to qualify for everything. Like, I say this every time this is brought up. If you make FaZe or SK qualify for every tournament, they don't make a third of them, right, or a quarter of them. They will not qualify every single time because it's just so cutthroat in some of these games. There's a lot of best of ones involved, a lot of underdogs who can study your game. You have no idea who they are and so forth. So I think once you have a league like this, when it's more consistent and they get good competition, is where you can really see where they are.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We are going to be jumping into our first game, though. It's going to be AGO. We've talked an awful lot about them. They're going to be playing versus Na'Vi. And your casters are locked and loaded. Gentlemen, look at you. Ready, sprightly, ready to jump into this one. AGO, Na'Vi. We're going into Overpass first. One of the fun maps. We've got some chaos on that over in Katowice. We're going to be seeing what you guys have got for us.
We don't really know much about AGO, do we? So this could be a bit of an experiment for ourselves anyway.
No, we don't. Yeah, AGO certainly came in as a bit of a surprise. There was also some talk after sort of the major when they were in the qualifying stages for Katowice, and they were having a bit of form that they may perhaps be a destination for Taz as well. Now we're seeing more and more that might be Kingwin, but yeah, there's certainly some encouragement from AGO, from the CIS scene, and obviously Groovy, Furlan, these guys have seen majors before in the form of Vexed and E-Battle and whatnot. So
sure.
Lots of guys around on this team. It's kind of been one of those other, I guess, teams that's. I'm just noticing in the background how many CT players we have. That's
about 10 now.
Yeah, that's like interesting for the config of the server, but nonetheless, it's it's one of these teams that's always kind of been in backseat to Virtus Pro.
Let's be real though. Na'Vi should be winning this game hands down. There should be no discussion about it. They should be winning this. There's no doubt in my mind that they won't, but there's always a chance that they will. You never know what happens here because AGO, I guess they're like a bit of a sleeper team in the league. No one's going to be watching the demos too much or too directly, and we'll see whether they do manage to make a bit of a dent here. Simple, obviously, on this map is an absolute monster. Watch out for Flamey as well. Electronic should be one of the big fraggers here. He should be devouring these sort of teams. He has been struggling to really perform at a top level. Kind of mid-table for the team most of the time. Brought it to bring more firepower, but generally I've been a little bit underwhelmed. First map is Overpass, so Na'Vi will be starting on the CT side from what I can gather. Have we casted AGO before together?
Yes. I think in the round of 24 for the major.
Okay.
I'm certain. I know we've seen them on Pro League. We've talked about them on Pro League.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in Pro League. Maybe it wasn't actually. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the major. I don't think they were at. Were they at the round of 24? It's been a while.
I don't think they were. Either way.
Nah. It's fine.
We'll see what they can do here today. Every point they can get will be very valuable indeed, as we'll get into the first map of the day. It's still the week where everyone's recovering from Katowice. You've seen some of these teams that didn't really make it there. Na'Vi were not at the event. Seems already for AGO as well. The other teams just trying to enjoy some of the time off. But 6 weeks without an event, a big event at least now. That's going to be at least exciting for the scene.
I think, yes and no. And I think that the fact that there's time off before Marseille and there's a few events here and there that teams can use to shape up is encouraging. I think we've kind of been kicking, how to describe it? We've been putting up with second rate for some teams just due to the fact that they haven't had time to really sit down and be disciplined and work it out. Obviously, you had a Christmas break in that time, but Christmas break is two things this year. It's Christmas break, first and foremost. You want to be with your family. You want to go home and hang out. But you also had to shape up for the major a little bit, and teams kind of came in. You could see it. You could see the teams that certainly took that as an advantage to be prepared, and then some of the top teams that got caught off guard, perhaps, by not playing as much.
Yeah, you just got to ask yourself, how much do you really want it, I guess? Like, obviously, it's a stacked calendar if you want to be the world's best, though. Like, it takes a dedication. You can't have the long, extended holidays. Unfortunately, this is not really a thing. But here we go. Na'Vi on the T side. So there we have it. It will be simple with the PT50. Causes an absolute disaster every single time he has this weapon in his hand. He seems to find those one taps, and that's the advantage of having the PT50. One smoke, a flashbang for Zeus. He is the in-game leader, of course, and they're going to be rushing B by the looks of things. Maybe just a contact play. Nope, straight up rush. And it will be Groovy and Fur to watch short here. And they're not really have much of a chance. They're going to be smoked out, presumably, now that he knows he's there. That would make a lot of sense to me, at least. Flamey will be spotting towards the monster tunnel, but here comes Furlan. He'll get one. Maybe even a couple more here. They haven't deployed the smoke just yet, but all the frags are coming in their favour. It will be Na'Vi to pick up the round. Just up to snatching out to see whether he can get anything. That's all here. The answer is no. Edward with 2 kills. Bomb not even planted.
Not even close. Na'Vi pretty straightforward. That hopefully is a sign of things to come. If I'm honest with you, I want Na'Vi to be back to a top level form. And you know, when you look at this on paper and when you look at the history of Na'Vi as a team, you would certainly expect that they should be comfortable against AGO.
Yeah, this shouldn't even be close, but you never know. Online CS has proven to deliver some strange results. We had a couple of them last night. LDSC beating Envy, the new look Envy. That was a little bit worrying, I have to say. But a force by now from AGO, CZs, Deagles, and Snatchy with the full eco here. So presumably he will be AWPing for the squad as they go towards long. It's a very common area to open things up. Edward will find the first frag towards Toa. Looks like a very convincing round, I have to say. 3 rifles, Na'Vi not really taking much at all here. It's up to Groovy and we went with this last time. Remember this now? It was either or we're going to PHR.
Yeah, there you go. Now we're bringing back the memories. Excuse me.
I can remember it all now.
It's
and we were calling this guy Toad for the whole game.
Yeah, that's right. It's Toa.
So I'll say sorry for that again. Called him Toad for the entire map. No one noticed. But either way, bomb should be planted now. You can see Edward. I like this, being a little bit cautious. I've been criticising Na'Vi's anti-eco approaches for some time now. They actually fixed it after the group stages over in Kiev. That's where you started to see, wow, this team actually is living up to some of its potential. Got to the grand final over there, losing to Mouse Sports in quite an epic game in the end. Went all the rounds. Going to get a couple of kills here for CZ, doing what he does best, killing absolutely everyone. That's what you love to see, a kill feed full of CZ frags. Groovy and PHR just holding on. There was no real reason to hunt them down, but they went for it anyway. Simple. He's got that bloodlust right now. Bomb will go off, and he's just seeing if he can find the final frag here. Groovy will look towards his position. Can he find the shot? Who will come out on top? It's the CZ. What else did you expect?
I'm not going to go down that road tonight. That's a depressing rabbit hole that's going to lead me to someplace other than Wonderland that's underneath the ground. And I don't want to be there this evening.
He gets Galil and Kevlar now, so it's not all lost. PHR will bring out their CZ. PD50 for Furlan. There's a Mac 10 for Zeus, and rifles around him. They actually be kept relatively modest here. So those kills, not really required by Na'Vi to go chasing for them, but they wanted it anyway. Will be a little bit worrying.
So Flamey and Electronic to work out toward long. Bomb in the hands of Simple, 2-0, and although Groovy carries over the Galil, we'll see if they can get anything done. If Groovy can find a kill. He's over toward B, which means they've got to rotate back around Snatchy, PHR. I'm going to stay with PHR. Is that all right?
That's fine by me.
Okay.
This doesn't sound very cool, does it?
I know you have a PhD, but is PHR okay?
It's absolutely fine.
Okay. Just want your permission, Professor. Simple. Ooh, okay, I thought he was going to get caught off by that. He kind of over-rotated a little bit on his aim and perhaps was going to come out worse for wear. Take down Toa, and then Groovy, there it is. There's the Galil. It actually makes a difference. Shows up from the dumpster, and it's got a third kill. It makes things very expensive. Navi's spending some cash early on.
They are. They're making it rain. And the first gun round will come in. They're actually not looking too healthy, even after getting to 3-0. Yeah, exactly. Flamey with 7k. Here's a replay of Simple against the Eco-Frags, but well held. This kill especially is good spray control coming in. You see this? There it is. Lovely. And we did create the done first, so well done. Double AWP setup to kick things off for AGO. Got lots of money, and they'll be going for the AWP pick. Like I said, Sinatra was fully kit before. They have not got a defuse kit. As Furlan tries to find the first pick. It's going to be Groovy to beat him to the punch, though. Remember, they haven't got an AWP on the T side, so he'll stay committed to this one. He might get flashed out in a second. They're going to throw a flash over. A Simple could peek. And they're just going to fall back, actually, and Simple presumably goes down here. So Flamey tagged up, and not the best-looking Na'Vi to enter the gun round. It's a guaranteed kill for Furlan. Oh my god, his legs going to die, surely. Okay, he makes up for it. 4 versus 3 now. He was hoping he'd have 2 or 3 people run by, but I guess he didn't realise that his teammate was exposed. Let him just die straight up there. Not really ideal. I assume he was watching the connector.
Flamey to push back up toward the playground as Furlan wants to try and hold this position. He's done well to get this position, and he's got another kill. Surely, how does Flamey get away with that? Because he was red HP when he peaked, and Groovy, or excuse me, Furlan didn't hit anything on that. So Groovy with the AWP, still a factor, but the single kill at party, playground, both they're about the same. Gives away a lot of map control, Hank. That's what I'm going with here.
It does. And speaking of map control, Na'Vi are going for it right now. They'll go towards long. Remember, the AWPs, no utility really for the CTs now, no diffuse kits. As this bomb makes it up towards long, they're in a lot of trouble. We have one player that's on the other side of the map. That's Simple, just doing what he does best. Making some presence towards B, but here comes the commitment. PHR has heard them now. He probably gets the first kill. Electronic trying to step up, and he will. 8 seconds. Can they plant? That's the big question. Looks like that will be answered with yes. Smoke towards CT, and now the retake is going to be very difficult indeed. Smoke's down. Remember, no kits. If you close their flashbangs, they don't have the numbers. CT not really a factor with Grubby and his AWP.
B through the box. Down goes Electronic, but bomb's already planted. It's not to deny, and Toa is found by who else, Henry? Who else?
The man, the myth, the beast.
Oh, okay. Hi, Vince. You can pay him royalties.
I think I should have this, but I've used it quite a lot.
You have. I know. It's. I see what you're doing. You're just taking other people's lines.
It's a good line. I think
Next, you'll be saying, "Are you kidding me?"
That was like awesome. I mean, I thought that was really fun. That's a good,
the way
idea.
he said it too is really well done.
You've got to take
the
boost, like idioms, and bring them into your own kind of lines
spin
and
on
casting. Yeah, that's cool.
Or you can just do what I do. And if you're going to use cliches, just yell really differently each time, and you'll get away with it.
Tantalizing.
Exactly. You nailed it.
Well, I'll see if I can work on it. 4-0 though. We expected AJ to have some sort of a fight. There was a very close first gun round, so not to be worried just yet. we'll have a look as to whether mix, so presumably they'll be absolutely fine here, Na'Vi. One kill comes in the favor of AGO. It's going to be Snatchy to pick it up. He finds a Mac 10. So that's a Zeus trying to get some information on the map. He's the in-game leader. If he can see it firsthand, you can maybe pass it on to his teammates and see how it translates. Snatchy won't be able to do much from this position. If they opens the door, there'll be a chance, but he'll now fall back. His teammates triangulating around the A site, and now Na'Vi looking like they'll walk into the B-bomb side. I'd assume this would be a contact play. Why not? He's got a Mac 10. He's not going to pick you all off. Just go in one by one and attack together when you have to. That Mac 10, I'll tell you what, is going to do like 40 damage at that range. So, Snatchy, what have you got for us? Are you ready?
What are you made of, my man?
That was also another.
Yeah, we don't even know who said it. Snatchy with the Mac 10. He's going to try and go back up toward the site. He can't get the shot so far. In fact, he's trying desperately. He's fairly well suited in this position, but he just couldn't land the shots, and therefore Flaming get him down again. Furlan with one on the deagle. Ball planted, and Simple gets another kill on Toa. Electronic with a spark toward Furlan.
Well, there we have it. Round number 6 comes in. 5-0 maximum loss bonus for AGO. They went with the double orb setup when they kicked things off here in the first gun round. Did not work out for them. Gonna just adjust things very slightly. And just Snatchy, a name I am not familiar with. I won't lie to you. I have not come across him in the Polish scene before. I've casted a lot of Polish Counter-Strike over the years.
You don't get a lot of Snatch. That's understandable.
Well, there we go. And I first came across these group of players in Cologne 2015, where they were actually at the major. It's like a weird time for CS back then. There was a lot of unknown teams that kind of made it through. But some of these guys were part of that. As we'll get into it, we'll be Snatching. Remember, he's got the orb, and he's in the connector right now. That's a real all-in position. He's backed up by Furlan. Orb not connecting, and maybe aware, but can't convert the second kill. And it will be a 5-on-3 now. And Snatchy starts to light them up. Maybe he's got some skill, this boy.
Might indeed. Down goes Zeus. Well, looks like it may go in the favor of AGO finally after 5 rounds, and that, of course, would entail a reset potential, so keeping 5 is pretty damn good, Furlan. He takes down Electronic 5-1.
It's not bad, is it, Snatchy?
bad
Right now,
at all.
Na'Vi aren't really doing much in terms of strategy. They are just kind of default, everyone just peek and see what happens. So now the orb comes out, I assume they're like, well, we've lost a round, time to... Guess we have to start trying. Let's work at what's going on. Like it was a very default setup before. But Simple, he's going to try and beat the orb towards B. From what I can see, he's facing straight towards Monster. He's seeing if that pick comes in again. It might do, Grilly's there. So he throws in Incendiary. He's got the AK-47. There's actually 3 AKs on the Polish side. Boost for the CT as well. They've got some creativity, some ideas. See if it works out for them.
Toa. Side of the connector's going to smoke off Flamey, who backs off. Zeus starts to fire inside of the smoke. Anything from it just yet. Toa's going to back off as well and go back down in front of the bathrooms alongside him. Will be Furlan. I think if you put Furlan and Waylander on your team, you'd have a great land team.
Waylander, that's the name I haven't said in a while.
Is that a blast from the past, Henry?
Yeah. Whatever happened to him? He's still going? Is he on the flip side?
He was on flip side. Unfortunately, I don't know what exactly happened to him. Obviously, he's the Finnish player who doesn't speak Finnish, so you couldn't be able to join many other teams.
He's got a Finnish passport, I think, is it? Like
He's born in Finland, but he's on the west, east of Finland, so he's closer to Russian border.
Right.
So for PHR, outside of Monster, we'll wait for Edward and Electronic to work their way through. Flashes directly through the smoke. It's going to be PHR that wants to try and cut them off. Groovy as well on top of Catwalk.
They might do well here. See, that's really a kill. Maybe not. Toa, though. He'll get 1. 4 versus 4, but the bomb is planted. Is just waiting in there. 8 seconds remaining, but the bomb will be planted. Electronic gets a couple. It's simple, and whenever he's alive, I just think, well, this one's over. Like that's just the kind of formula I've come up with now. If he's alive in any sort of situation, if you will, it's just going to be very easily won by Na'Vi. And he doesn't even find a frag that round. It's all down to Electronic with the opening. And that is going to be a reset of sorts. He did manage to keep 4 players alive there before, so they have got 1 more buy available. Here's Electronic jumping on the barrels, looking above that smoke. Quite nice creative movement there. You can see it actually helps out in a couple of aspects there. UMP for PHR, Snatchy back on the AWP. This will be their final buy. They've got one on the board so far. He'll have to be a little bit aggressive with the sniper and see if he can take down Simple, presumably, but that's no easy thing to do. I'm sure we're all aware by now, you don't need to be told. This guy is pretty good.
He's not bad, and he might get another not bad oh yeah.
Hello. He spotted his elbow.
And kills him with it, because that's Counter-Strike.
It's weird how legs don't kill you, but the arm shots do.
I kind of like that the arms do, because in a lot of games, and you're seeing it in games like PUBG right now, I think Battalion's guilty for it. The arms being in front of the body, because that's the first point of contact, actually negate the amount of damage for accuracy. So it's kind of annoying in a lot of ways. You have to make it, basically you'd have to go pass through the arm and do chest damage as well, or if you get what I mean.
Scrap it, keep it in.
Yeah. I like it the way that it is, because otherwise, yeah, it'll block damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess in the game, you're holding a gun up in front of you all the time.
Yeah.
It's difficult to say, oh, you got me in the arm. Either way, it will be the 5 versus 4. Remember, this is a very weak buy from the CT. 6-1 down. They have got a kip, a couple of smokes remaining, and still with that orb, but can they really do much of it? Look at the bomb. It makes his way towards this side of the map. That's to be a guaranteed kill for Snatchy. I'm surprised he didn't flash it or anything like that. He'll take it, though, and that's the bomb retrieved. Flamey. Oh, you probably can't cross here. Snatchy had repositioned. He actually out-dueled Simple. Now, that's something I didn't think I'd be saying.
Destroyed him clean, but oh, he still scoped in and has no idea that Flamey's that close. That was easy peasy. As Grubby walks in. Groovy? Is he groovy or groovy?
Groovy.
Groovy. That's groovy, baby.
It was Grubby, it'd be 2 Bs, I guess. But we'll see.
Fair enough. I like it. Flamey's going to try and plant smoke down. Wants to try and bait them back at sandbags they've spotted. Well, not spotted, but they're spraying it. And Groovy will get the kill. Edward above them is rotated around with 2. He doesn't have time to plant the bomb. You're right. Groovy's going to make a run for it.
Well, he kept it very expensive, didn't he? And it will be a decent round. Snatchy taking down Simple there in T-Spawn with the AWP. That was a nice shot. Na'Vi will still buy, so will AG. Of course, they won the round, but whoever wins this will break the other side. 6-2 in Na'Vi's favor. This is the game. You can't even imagine a world where they lose it. But strange things happen in Pro League. These guys are fighting for relegation at the start of this season. They had to go all the way to New York and battle it out with winners of Mountain Dew League, for example, and that's a nice shot. You can see why they stayed in. That guy keeping the dream alive, and Toe Up will try and save the MVP, but he will not do that successfully. A couple of kills picked up for Na'Vi. Simple out-dueling the AWP with just an AK. And it's going to be a 5 versus 3. When you get those kind of early kills, a lot of teams will be tempted just to rush in towards A, but you can see Na'Vi being patient, waiting to see what kind of reactions they'll get in return. And Furlan will wait anxiously, perhaps, as he only has to FAMAS. And same story for his teammate as they try and get the first frag here in their favor.
Furlan's going to push up as well. Gets caught out, though. Pushes too far. No one watching the backside entrance of the bathroom, so therefore Flamey can walk out behind him. Simple. Actually got that kill. Not Flamey that we were spectating, but over top of his teammate. Groovy with Flamey down. He's going to rotate back underneath, but Flamey, and Edward rather, excuse me, he's going to push him in position, so 7-2. Na'Vi bouncing back every single time that AGO seem to get around, and in doing so,
yeah, but this time
money.
They really mean it. They really have destroyed the money, and it's going to be a force buy. But 5-7s, CZs, it's all coming out now, and we'll see whether they're able to step up. It's going to be, I'm not sure, an interesting proposition to see whether they can find any sort of kills here. The Deagle at the very start gets absolutely nothing there, and AK's starting to do work. When you get the 5-on-4 in these sort of scenarios, especially against CZs, you just want to really wait up and just choose one area to go towards together. That's always my first objective. Get the first kill, go somewhere like long where you have the advantage, then execute. Basic execute, don't have to go too wild. A couple of smokes, Molotov, the real tight one-and-done positions, and go in as a 5-man unit.
Snatchy with the shot onto Zeus. It's Simple. Gets one back into him. Groovy, meanwhile, with the CZ. We'll get the kill onto Edward. 3 versus 3 as a result of this. Make that one less. Nice shot. Furlan on the Deagle. Flamey down. Simple has bomb, but he's unsure of where to go with it. Smoke's going to protect him from now, at least from Groovy, but he's about to be surrounded, and if he's not careful, that CZ gets another kill easily. Groovy's backed off, unsure of well as to where Simple's gone.
They're back at it again, but Electronic, he's got something going on this round. There's the first kill for him. Gonna find, no, he can't out-duel the CZ. It will get him. And Groovy will find his second. It is a bit like a rifle, as you saw. And now, round 10, simple. Left in a 2 versus 1, but what did I say before? If you ever get in these scenarios, you feel like he probably just hands down wins it. If he gets to plan towards bank, he probably will. He is quite good. They've got an AK-47. One of them's low HP. 13 seconds. Where does he plant for? He's going to plant on the truck. Okay. Doesn't really give himself many options in terms of defending it. Now Molotov towards the bank, and now he has players coming. There's one coming from all the way from B. Remember, they have knuckle kits here, so this might be a bit of a misplay. Want to see though. Oh, spots one. Oh, he misses a shot. Didn't think I'd ever say that about Simple.
Simple downed by Furlan. That's going to make this easy for AGO as they've already gotten on the defuse. It starts with CZs and it ends with a win. How many times have I heard that story?
Too many times at this point. The bomb diffused easily. And here are the initial shots. The backstab coming in. One shot to take down Flamey. That's all we need with the Eagle. There is a buy available on either side. AGO keeping themselves alive here. As we'll get into round number 11. AK's out in full force, Simple on the AWP. Once again, facing reset, but they did win an eco, so it wouldn't be that devastating. You see their money's pretty decent at this point. Bomb down a T-spawn, and there's a smoke to block the vision as Flamey makes his way towards shore. Looking for any boosted players. Furlan has got a slight gap there, but won't look in time. Might just spam this.
Trying every angle he can possibly think of to see through the smoke. Flamey, speaking of spam, will do exactly that. Spick and spam down through connector. Did your mom used to say that? Clean your room, it better be spick and span.
No, I got Scott the Butler to do it.
Oh.
That was easier.
Why didn't I get one of those?
Well, he still can.
Okay. Furlan takes down Zeus. Starting it off again well for AGO Esports. Furlan is coming alive. He's taking down Flamey for online.
That's good. I see we did that. Well then, Electronic almost certainly did. A good angle by Groovy. I don't think there'll be much here. They're not going to flash for those things. There's a good Molotov. Electronic to run through. Nope. Falls back. Made some noise. They might be aware of its position now. 5 versus 3, and Na'Vi, I hate to say it, are struggling a little bit now in the gun rounds. Losing the initial picks, and they're not going to flash this at all. Just let Simple walk in. Going to hit that one, I'm afraid. So good positioning. It's going to be bombed down, and he goes for Na'Vi. Edward, I don't think he's capable of winning a 1 versus 5. He'll go down, will be retrieved, and that's going to be a 2k per player on the Na'Vi side. The aim's actually looking pretty good for the Polish side. Furlan, great shots, and there's the scoreboard. Groovy on 16 kills, 6 deaths. Toa 1 for 10, but it doesn't matter. Grovy's taking all the kills. Edward at the top, Zeus 4 and 7. They'll force buy with Mac 10 and 4 CZs. Why not? See what happens. Rush B.
Maisel. Give it a go. Give it a whirl. Toa stands for the one and only, apparently. Zeus and Edward are going to stand for kills. Mac 10 and CZ75. There you go. The one and only. I am the one and only. That was great when you were the last alive. Well, he's going to be not quite the last alive. Snatchy and Furlan still in it. 7-4, bit of a run from AGO, but that might be over, or will it be? Because Furlan gets in behind them. Certainly makes things interesting, but bomb planted for this duration. He's already backing off to try and save the weapon. He's far removed from his teammate. Snatchy will do the same and head toward CT and spawn, but Simple's already getting close enough with the CZ75.
Will he be able to find them? Oh, misses a shot with the rifle there. I'll have to reload it. There it is. And we'll see if he can find the final frag. If he can take down the AWP, that would be fantastic news. He's not going to commit to it though. He'll let him live, it seems, as the game swings back and forth. The AWP will be recovered by AGO. Will they force into this one? I would say probably yes. Snatchy can drop a UMP. They can buy up around that. There's the secondary AWP, so definitely going to force at this point. Snatchy drops a FAMAS instead. So 2 AWPs, FAMAS, 2 CZs. It's a full buy. Round 13.
Yep, desperate, but it's CZs are basically a rifle. I used to call them an SMG, but I think they're more of a rifle. I'll get back to you on that. Verdict's still out. Might even be the best rifle in the game.
For the cost, yeah.
The ROI is through the roof. The one and only is going to show us why. It's getting ridiculous.
We just have to accept it for what it is and move along. Because it ain't changing anytime soon. 4 versus 3. They will manage to recover another orb, and Zeus should pick up this kill, but no, can't do it. Snatchy takes him down, and the bomb will be dropped. It's at the feet of Snatchy now. Simple. Well, I'll have to pick up the pieces here. He might just Molotov the bomb himself, and Snatchy will be in a lot of trouble with that one, I think. He'll sit in front of it. He's got a smoke to protect him at least. Round 13. It looks like AGO should pick this one up. Another smoke deployed. As you can see, just hoping to get something through the smoke is Simple. Could throw another incendiary, but Snatchy once again is playing in front of it. Flashbang goes in. Now, Molotov force Simple to attempt something. Is he's going to burn? Not quite.
He's going to be frustrated that he's not able to find these shots. He's getting locked in time and time again. Continues to try and spot. Ooh, that's a little head.
Here's Johnny.
That's basically what that was.
Through the door.
Ah, that's good. The Shining. The Shining. Not a bad movie.
Pretty fun. And Electronic and Simple won't be able to do anything with this, even with the hole in the door. And we'll go to round number 14. AGO definitely picking up a fight here. They're on the CT side, which is not ideal considering the scoreline, but they're doing better than I expected. Na'Vi, nothing too special really, very standard game from them. Not really deploying a plethora of tactics. No one really going wild. Simple's having a very quiet game by his standards. You can see he's got 11 frags. Edwards at the top. And there'll be throwing smokes towards B and some flashbangs just to really hold some presence on that side of the map. Simple will be orbiting towards middle. They have force for themselves, trying to make up for the mistakes made in the previous round. Here's Furlan, and he should do quite well from this one. You can see there's no smokes towards his position. He's got full vision. Will decide to fall back. He looks towards the connector right now. There's his grenades coming out. Flashbang didn't affect him. Zeus will jump out first and not be taken down. So he did his job and took the bullets, but that's the bomb gone again. Matt, we normally talk about Na'Vi losing the bomb and solo escapades. Yeah, escapades. But 5 versus 3 now. Snatchy trying to keep this in his favour. Teammates backing him up. There's a nice shot from Electronic.
It is a nice shot from Electronic, but they've lost Edward in the meantime, so this becomes a 4 versus 2 or a 2 versus 4, depending on how you look at it, Henry. There's perspective to everything. Simple goes toward long, AWP in hand, and didn't quite get a shot. Thought he might get a spot toward Furlan, who is on the counter-respective AWP. A good shot again from Electronic, takes down the one and only.
DHR, we'll hear them all running around middle. We've got 30 seconds as 2 CTs reside in towards that connector. Electronic will know there's a risk of it being occupied, but he'll make his way patiently towards the A bomb site. Furlan kills one of these players, it's all over. If he goes down with nothing, it's a different story. There's a little wallbang, and not the double frag just yet, but that's going to be the round. Electronic won't be able to win this one. He's got no time to even plant at this point. He's trying to get some rotation kills. He'll miss the shot. Grubby will bait him out, then there's the time. He'll probably die after this. We'll have a look.
Smart, very smart. Knew that he didn't repeat his like trying to search around in front of the bathrooms. That's not bad from Electronic, at least good game sense in that regard. But 8-6 as we head into round 15. That's pretty good from Furlan.
Not bad. Yeah, likely to be 8-7 here. We'll see. AGO stepping up here on an overpass. Na'Vi not looking as convincing as I would have hoped. We'll have a look if they can pick it up as we get further and further into overpass here. It's our first map of the day. We've got 6 in total to bring you. As the double up setup will be challenged by Flamey once again. He's just going to rush out the connector. Surely dead. Indeed he is. Good shot by Snatchy. He might be overwhelmed here. Simple CZ, not fast enough.
She is very quick. Zeus, meanwhile, with the AWP picked up from Simple's body, was going to try and use that inside of the center. One side of the box is Toa in front of the bathrooms, however, finds the shot. Good find from Zeus in return, though, because it is for that eventually gets taken down, and he's well aware of exactly where the one and only is, so he runs him down his well, giving Zeus 3 kills, looking for an ACE, but it's PHR that gets him instead. 8-7. AGO's in this game.
They certainly are. It's split right down the middle here. Na'Vi on the T side there, they will have a slight advantage in that respect. It's Simple getting some frags, doing what he does best. A very quiet game. You'd assume him to go like 20 kills against this sort of opposition, but wasn't bad by any stretch, just not as explosive as you would have liked. But there we go. Furlan with the wallbang, contributing to their success. Here's the scores on the doors. It will be Groovy with 17 in the end, Snatchy 12, Furlan 14. PHR and Toa a little bit more quiet. They have 4 and 3 respectively. As we get into the Na'Vi things, everyone's spread out quite equally. I think Simple finished on 11. I think he might have got 12 in the end, I'm not quite sure. Edward certainly did, 95 ADR for him. Zeus started to pick things up towards the end of those consolation frags. Didn't really win the round, but he got a couple in round number 15. If they win the pistol, AGO should be out of it, but if it goes the other way around, you never know. Maybe they can potentially pick this one up. They'll be on the T side now. We don't know much about this squad and what their specialties are in terms of maps, so proceed with caution, Na'Vi.
Proceed with caution indeed. But cautiously optimistic they'll be with Simple running out toward the fountain on a USP. Looks for the shots on Furlan. Doesn't want to overextend. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome.
Oof, well, he's dead.
Good rundown from Groovy. That's pretty swift, actually, considering. Usually Simple gets away with those.
Yep, went for the initial pick. Didn't really work out for him. 5 versus 4. Important pistol for the Poles. Zeus will be trying to get some map control back. This could be a good play. He'll start heading towards T-spawn, but the B-bomb side's already overwhelmed, so he's a little bit late there. Bomb to be planted, but Electronic with a good shot there from heaven.
Trying to do everything. Fires back into the site. It's Edward that's going to take down Toa. Flamey swinging in. Able to converge with Electronic onto Furlan, and they've got it down to just Snatchy. Na'Vi wanted to win this second pistol, and a good chance in winning the game and doing so. Perhaps 8-7 still a close enough scoreline. Snatchy out of the site. I think they heard him. They must have. They didn't hear him. Maybe not. He didn't make that much noise, but they did find him.
They did find him. He can't get the frag, and the defuse should be relatively easy for them. And there it is. Na'Vi pick it up. 3 kills for Electronic. Good shots coming in from the heaven position, rotating in. Zeus coming in from T-spawn. They had everything covered. We're going to do round number 2 of the second half. Here are the odds right now. I don't think that's the most awful bet in the world from AGO. Well, the odds pretty good there. All things considered, quite a close game. I think that might be worth a flutter. Who knows? Check it out on Betway. And P250s, no armor. They did get the bomb down, so bringing those AKs out in the third. Not really prepared for it now, but they did get a couple of M4A4s, so maybe they are. But MP9s, Scouts, UMPs, first shot landed by Simple there. Takes PHR down to 38. He won't hit another one, though. He gets absolutely wrecked by the P250s, and now they've got a bit of a troublesome position. Edward to get himself ready and waiting on the bomb site here, but they have slowed things down and not going to commit with the bomb just yet.
Shots out. Groovy can't connect on it, goes back out to the top of the stairs instead. Flamey. What always looks so funny is people run scoped in on the scout because they move so quickly as Flamey takes down Furlan. It almost looks like some sort of arena shooter, you might say, as Zeus takes an easy shot toward the one and only with the MP9. I like the one and only. It sounds nice. Ruby with bomb. Sneaking in toward B desperately to get it down. He'll be shut out by Flamey. We go 10-7 in favor of Na'Vi.
There we go. But the AKs come out now. Here's Furlan. Good work on the scout. A nice little swift shot there. But Simple brings out the AWP. 11 kills, 11 deaths. He is not having one of his absolute massive performances here today. 3. Flashbangs towards middle.
Toa back toward mid. Gruby still hanging out in the playground, living his glory days. The golden years. People say it's when you retire. I think it's when you're a child.
Well, Zeus will have his work cut out for him here. The MP9. AGO will be very slow in their approach. Remember, they have got the AKs this round. They got the bomb down and the pistol. And they'll go towards B, presumably to execute on the site. They've got one player waiting towards A long. That's going to be Gruby. And they win this one, they're right back in the game. If they don't, I dare say it might be done for them. We'll have a look, though, as Zeus will be running around with that MP9. He'll just be jumping up and looking for any information. Gets it. 45 seconds, waiting to deploy his incendiary. Could boost him and take him down, but he'll put the incendiary now. Good flashback from Flamey. And what's the play here? There's one player running up long still. He has to do nothing. What a horrible position from Zeus. Electron will have to step up there. And it looks like this could all fall apart. Good shot, gets the bomb at least. 25 seconds. Simple getting a frag. He knows if he just gets one more electronic win round, that should be in now. And so has got so much work to do. 9 foul.
Even pretty tired.
Good reaction. Should have got at least one there, but open. No down.
So 11-7. Flamey able to push all the way through and get that bomb was certainly, or excuse me, Electronic was certainly in a great position. Electronic gonna head back over to B this time as well. As Electronic will also get a incendiary out toward the short pipe. That'll slow down any push towards water position. Bit of an exchange that might happen at the bottom side of the connector because Zeus is already down below in the construction position, but Toa's worked inside of the stairwell and door opening. Toa might get the advantage on this, or does he? Zeus running through makes it seem all too easy for Na'Vi. It looks like they'll pick up their 12th round convincingly. Snatchy, all that remains. This would be not only the first half, or at least the first time that they've gone pistol in 3 rounds, but it would be the first time, the second time in the game they've gone pistol in 5 rounds. So essentially with those, it's 5-0. But in all the other rounds, once the money's come back out, AGO's managed to pull this back. Okay, so it's 4-0, excuse me. I was 1 round early. If they win this, it would be the second time they go 5-0. But 9 rounds, they've been 3-7 when money's somewhat level. They've won 2, obviously, gun rounds in those mixes. But simple back to the AWP. 5 AK-47s this time for AGO. And with Flamey on an MP9... we'll see if he makes any difference at all, because they've all got head armor on the T side. Naturally, you would do against even the M4s. As Simple wants to sit back. Edward's going to get more aggressive with the M4. Hopefully he can bait them in, because they're going to try perhaps to run him down. Flamey's also pushed up. And immediately Edwards will have to be careful in his retreat, because Snatchy wants to swing behind. Simple still to watch, and Snatchy never actually peeks out into an angle, so they'll get back to the site, despite that Zeus is low on 12 HP. He's given, by the way, the AWP from Simple, because they know very well that Simple can duel with any weapon at all, and they'd rather have Zeus have the one-hit wonder with the AWP. Gruby, meanwhile, will get down into Underpass. Lots of different stickers on that weapon, none of which were his.
There we go. 5-on-3, Na'Vi coming in, and Flamey will just about pick that frag up. That should guarantee the round at this point. Flamey will be traded out by Furlan. They've got 2 players remaining at this point, 35 seconds as well. Snatchy gets a kill, takes down Zeus, who had the AWP for whatever reason. And Simple will reside towards long. This should be everything now. They're not going to check him. He'll get the kill, absolutely execute Snatchy there. Furlan went for the plant, but realizes he might be numbered here. Simple runs around the corner, takes him down. 13-7. And money's okay. Lost bonus accumulating for AGO. They'll presumably buy into this round. They don't really want to allow Na'Vi to get any deep into this one. There's the AK. And even more so. As 4 of them come out in total, PHL will bring out the MAC-10. Smokes, flashbangs. And some armor as well. Simple goes towards middle, flashed off though, has to fall back.
Edward to the sign. But how big and bright can he shine? We'll find out in due time.
We might do. And it could be right here, right now. He has been tagged up, he's got the AK in his hands. But Simple, we said quiet game for him so far. Can he start lighting them up? Certainly can. Good shot. He'll bait Edward in. He might only be good for one though. But Simple keeps hitting shots time and time again. Electronic should guarantee the round at this point, and that's going to be 14-7. AGO, they'll have the maximum loss bonus, but let's keep buying. PHR doesn't even consider it. He just goes straight in. I'm buying. No bomb going down, and Simple hits the second shot here. Doesn't quite get the frag on the third, but he did leg him up. So AK's CZ, actually not too bad all things considered. They came in about $3,600, I think. That's why a couple of players, or three of them, don't have helmets. We'll see if Simple can finish things off here. That's where we were trying to avoid the flames. And it'll be Edward to nade towards the playground.
Oh, gets around the corner, gets a few shots into Simple, doesn't respond at all with the AWP. I say a few shots, that went through the edge of a wall, so he still has 96 HP. Very linear defense setup. They were all perfectly in a line. 3 at beat, 2 at A. Groovy getting behind them, though, is going to cut them apart. Edward, good recovery. 19 HP, though, and he needs to be aware that they're going to be working back down long, and Toe is still inside of the bathroom, so no matter which way he went, it was the wrong way, Hank.
Certainly was. Well, Zeus can't find the aim. Needs an electronic. Snatchy should be able to take both these kills, from honest. There it is. And Zeus, yeah, he's not going to be winning a 3 versus 1. So you might just want to try and find the AK or something like that and save the weapon. He'll tentatively make his way in. Trying to get low HP frag. And it's going to be Snatchy to take him down. And money, we'll have a look for Navi. It should be fine. Yeah, simple $14,000. So he'll buy up. He can even drop another roll if he really wants to. Electronics pretty healthy as well. Here's Snatchy getting a couple of kills as they rotate through. Nice shot. He's been quite impressive.
Snatchy looks quick, man. I like him. Not even top fragging. It's Furlan. Furlan did have a really good second half, or first half, excuse me.
Yeah, he got 17 in the first half.
Yeah, super solid. Super solid, and at least 2 more rounds. Don't know why I stuttered on the 2, but I did. Imagine that. Well, AGO has only gotten 1 round, excuse me, so far in this half. Toa wants to change that. Walks in, takes out Zeus. Smoke as well. Electronic's gonna have a hard time finding a way back in. That nade goes deep. Otherwise, it would have Toa down. It still is because he swings, but Garubi's able to trade it. Not only that, found Flamey. They've got the man advantage.
2 versus 2. It didn't last too long, and the bomb is actually in the water right now. Edward, he gets his frag. Should be round done, but can't quite do it. They still have a fighting chance here, AGO. 1 minute on the clock. Good smoke deployed. Might give them enough freedom to get that plant down. In terms of the incendiary situation, though, it might be a different kettle of fish altogether. Simple trying to finish things off. He has a gap in the smoke. There's the incendiary to flush out one of the terrorists waiting on the other side. Groovy will have to go down to the water. I think they probably win this. It's looking quite good in terms of this position. No chance everyone will even be aware, as Simple will be. 1 versus 1 now. He's not having one of those crazy games, so doubtful that he hits that sort of shot. And AGO keep going. They might be testing Navi and going all the rounds. Here we go.
Simple. Did what he could when that smoke went down, but you're right, AGO with back-to-back rounds. It's on to shotguns for Zeus, UMPs for Flamey. AWP on the ground, that's for Simple. And Simple is rather complex. That was too obvious, wasn't it? Playing a pretty simple position.
It is. I'll have 1 buy left. UMPs, shotguns, and the FAMAS. It's up to Simple to really drive this one home. If AJ can win it, though, we'll find double digits. Very slow. Just a CZ for toe up. There's a Molotov towards middle. typically in the bathrooms in that area. Flame will get the first frag, takes down Furlan. As the upgrade, it does not. Stays on the UMP for now.
For now. Toa tries to get the shot down over the top. He's forced off the angle on 11 HP. Shotgun having some benefits. Good headshot from Zeus from range. Toa can't. Oh, surely not. 11 HP against a shotgun. Somehow gets away with it, but Edward will trade it back, and it is just PHR that remains. We'll see if he's been found or will be found fast enough as he works in from the fountain. Still with bomb in his hands.
Ooh, we've got a plant.
We'll get a plant. Interestingly, with the 2-2 setup as well, because they were pushed out and wrapping back in from connector. So smoke back out towards sandbags. Nades go in, flames as well, and electronic nails him. It's going to be now map point for Na'Vi. 2 rounds in a row. I think the money's probably force potential, but not great. Yeah, okay. It's a little lower than I thought, actually.
With the bomb down, they can still... Ooh, yeah, like they get like a mixture of Deagles, CZs, and a couple of AKs. Not the worst, but certainly not the best. As Edward found an easy frag on Snatchy there. Caught him out in the bathrooms, got a couple. Took down Toa as well. And map point, indeed match point will come through. These guys will play twice, but each game is a individual best of 1. So 3 CZs, 2 AKs in the end. I don't think that'll be enough to take down Na'Vi here, but we'll see. They're going for a B play. All 5 players going to this side of the map. What have they got? Straight up rush towards Shaw and Zeus. Yeah, why not? We talked about this before in the analysis yesterday. Like, if you know, a player like Zeus is on there, that's going to be the weak point. So stay away from Simple and go towards Zeus.
Zeus smartly hears him coming despite flashing himself in and backs off and then sends electronic. Because electricity is everything. Turn it off and see if you can last a day. They do get 2 kills on the CZ, which surprises absolutely no one. They might get a bomb plant out of this as well, so retake They may not get a bomb plant out of this. Simple's got an AWP already in the window. Down goes Snatchy.
Yeah, the bomb's down, and Simple won't be backing down anytime soon. It looks like it's up to Furlan, 2 versus 1. Minute on the clock. Simple looking at him like a hawk, and it will be the first map going in favor of Na'Vi there, Matthew. A little bit closer than I expected, but AJ put up a good fight.
They did put up a good fight, but it wasn't good enough. The first half looked promising, obviously starting out of the CT side, but their T side showed weaknesses, and all of them exploited. Furlan was impressive in the first half. Snatchy, not bad throughout, but overall, yeah, Na'Vi looking sharp, as they should. Again, great star ladder for them. I want to see more of that.
Absolutely. I do agree. Can they do more in the second map? Time will tell.
Time will tell. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in just a second.